Now on 7 News at 7, severe weather in our area. We have team coverage tonight.
Developing dramatic video captured by viewers showing the strong winds and flooding.
One station, 7 News, getting an inside look at an apartment damaged from today's storms.
Only on 7 video as crews rescue employees trapped inside a building by floodwaters.
Live and local for Carolina's family. This is 7 News at 7.
Tonight, homes torn apart in Spartanburg County. A live look at the Crown Point apartments. You're witnessing the tremendous damage there and all the heartbreak that comes with it. Good evening. Glad you're with us tonight for this continuing team coverage on the flooding and the storm damage. With all the power outages and the dangerous roads, schools and other groups are making decisions for tomorrow, so keep an eye on the bottom of your screen.
Yeah, that'll be coming in throughout this newscast, Amy. And we're going to begin our team coverage with a live look at some of that damage in our area. In fact, maybe some of the worst of it. You see Scotty K standing by in Spartanburg County. Scotty.
That's right, Gordon. I'm here at Crown Point Apartments where we've seen some of the most damage today, and I just found someone who lives here. Tell me your name.
Laura Davis.
Are you guys coming out with your belongings? Did you come see the damage for the first time? Tell me what you were doing here.
I actually came here earlier today, but they've asked most of us to evacuate, so we're going to go stay with family tonight.
Did you have any major damage to your unit?
Fortunately, no. No, our unit is completely safe. There was no damage at all, so that was a plus. But there's a lot of damage to everybody else. So,
what was your initial reaction when you came here for the first time, saw everything? What was going through your mind?
A little bit in shock. I didn't expect it to be as bad as it was, but we'll make it through. You know, it's what we do. So
we'll be praying for you. Thank you so much. Take a look at this drone video we shot earlier of this apartment complex. Of course, it's a lot darker out here right now, but take a look. This is what we were seeing earlier. It's what it still looks like for the most part out here, but crews have been out here all day long. They've left not too long ago cleaning up these trees that had fallen on the apartment complex, on cars, crushing people's vehicles, leaving them no way to get out unless they had another ride. And like you heard, they're staying somewhere else tonight. A lot of people who live out here have had to make arrangements staying with family or friends. Of course, we've got some shelters that are opening up tonight as well, so no one will be staying here. As you could see earlier, it's very, very dark, no lights, but you know, this is just one part of Spartanburg that was hit today. We also have another reporter on standby in Spartanburg County, and that's Melanie Palmer.
Pure destruction is what is left behind in some of the areas off of Main Street, or I should say West Main Street here in Spartanburg. An example of that is just right behind me here by one of these businesses, and this is just some of the damage left behind. Now, we told you earlier about flipped over RVs, some that had smashed into each other's, car windows that were smashed in, trees that were snapped like twigs, and that's just some of the damage. And now the people living around here and some of the business owners are facing the most difficult part, and that's cleaning all of this up. Now, over the past couple hours, we've been hearing chainsaws from people cleaning up the tree limbs that fell on their yard, or for some on their homes. But since it has gotten dark, that has since halted, and a lot of people around here say that's just going to have to wait until tomorrow morning when the sunlight comes back out. And for some public works officials as well, they're waiting on the cleanup too. We were here earlier this evening talking to some officials on the scene who told us today is more just about assessing the damage, going around the county trying to figure out what they're up against. They told me tomorrow is when the cleanup will be in full swing, that of which could take days, hours. It's hard to tell at this point. Now, I'm going to have you pan right over here. We're up on this hill. You can just see pure darkness, and that's because the people living up here say they're without power. They told us it's been that way since this morning, since the storm hit, and they don't plan on that changing anytime soon. And if you saw some of the damage around here, you would definitely understand why. We saw some power poles that were just snapped in half and some power lines that were completely mangled together. So just more damage to add to this list of cleanup that has to be underway following the mess that this storm left behind. Live in Spartanburg, Melanie Palmer, 7 News.
Melanie, thank you. We have reporters live across Greenville County. First, we're going to go to 7 News reporter Ann Maxwell. She's been in Berea in Greenville County tonight where the roads remain dangerous.
I'm on Sulphur Springs Road in the Berea area of Greenville County. This is where there was a swift water rescue a couple hours ago. A tall truck from the Berea Fire Department got out about 30 people from their work at an auto shop and the Mosaic plant. All of those people are okay, but the flooding has continued to get worse. This part of Sulphur Springs Road behind me is closed to traffic. We've seen a lot of cars having to turn around. It's a fairly busy street here, and the flooding has only gotten worse since we were here early. I want you to take a look at the Swamp Rabbit Trail right here. The Reedy River is totally over its banks. It's flowed into that parking lot next door where those people had to be rescued earlier this evening. And if the rain keeps coming down like it is, it looks like it's only going to get worse. In Greenville County, and Maxwell, 7 News.
And I'm Ayla Ferrone here in Falls Park above the Reedy River. You heard Ann mention that just a couple of minutes ago. Let us show you exactly what happens once it gets here to the park. You can see that the falls are really just roaring. It's just white water out here, and the spray from how hard that water is falling over these rocks is coming up towards the bridge as well. Now, the city of Greenville putting out some official numbers saying that the water levels here are almost 13 feet high. They also say that the water is rushing at 5,400 cubic feet per second. So you see how fast it is. There's the numbers to back it up. Ann mentioned some of that overflow onto the Swamp Rabbit Trail. We saw much of that earlier, and we're seeing it along several parts of the Reedy River. The city even putting up some signs along the river to let people know exactly how quickly that water can rise and how dangerous it can really be. So make sure if you are coming out here to take a look at this really fantastic and incredible scene that the weather has created for us today, make sure that you're doing so safely. And again, we see that the river is overflowing on some sides, a little bit more upstream. There's parts of the Swamp Rabbit Trail and the bike trail that have been completely shut down because of flooding. So just remember that if it is shut down, if it's roped off, if it's a road that's barricaded that you're coming to, anything of that nature, it's really not safe for you to be going through that area. So please, we have said it over and over today, but we can't say it enough. Turn around, don't drown. We'll have another look at this for you coming up in the next half hour. For now, I'm reporting live in Greenville, Ayla Ferrone, 7 News.
Thank you, Ayla. And just into 7 News, Pickens County has declared a state of emergency. There are over 60 roads closed there due to all the flooding and the damage. Let's get right to Storm Team 7 meteorologist Malachi Rogers, who is keeping a really close eye on the rain totals so far and how much more we can expect. Malachi.
Yeah, and we've been tracking this rain throughout the day. It really started last night about this time, and we talked about the fact that it will be 24 hours of heavy, steady rain across the upstate and the mountains, and that's what we have seen. We are continuing to see rain in many spots in the upstate, including Spartanburg and Gaffney, Greenville, Lawrence, down towards Union, Anderson, Elberton, Georgia, over towards Royston, also over towards Hartwell and Tacoma. So again, we're still dealing with rain, and that's rain on top of the already saturated ground that we have. We picked up in many spots, and this is what you're seeing here, the orange and red colors, areas that picked up over 5 inches of rain, and every county in the upstate had at least one spot that saw these pockets of heavy rain. Gaffney and Cherokee County, Union and Union County, Spartanburg down towards Packlet in Spartanburg County, downtown Greenville, Simpsonville, and Malden, over into Pickens County. Pickens as well as Easley both saw those heavy rain amounts. Look at this, over towards Oconee and Walhalla area, Clemson, Walhalla, also down towards Anderson. We saw heavy amounts of rain, and because of that, our flash flood watch continues through this evening. It's been updated to say 1 a.m. on Friday, but really, it's going to be for a couple of more hours after we head into sunset and after we head into midnight, because the rain is still coming down. And we'll continue to see that rain at least till around 10 or 11 o'clock tonight in the upstate. So if you're traveling on roadways, on areas that are prone to flood or low-lying areas, be very careful. Temperatures will slowly drop through the 40s overnight as that rain moves out late tonight for both the upstate and the mountains. Once the rain moves out, some much colder temperatures are moving in, and we'll talk about that coming up in just a few minutes.
Malachi, thank you. Remember, you can always take 7 News and Storm Team 7 with you wherever you are with the free app. You can stay updated throughout the day on the latest news and, in these days, more importantly, the weather. Just head to the App Store. You can search WSPA 7 News or WSPA Weather.
And next on 7 News, we go inside that upstate apartment complex torn apart by the powerful winds. Now on 7 News at 7:30, team coverage is continuing tonight of the widespread rain and wind that caused so much flooding and damage. And again, we're reporting a number of school closures and delays for tomorrow, and they're rolling right now at the bottom of your screen.
Easy to find on our website as well. Spartanburg County, one of the hardest hit areas by the storm today, and that is where we find 7 News' Melanie Palmer standing by. Melanie.
Yeah, Gordon, this is just some of the debris left behind following the strong storm system that barreled through the area earlier today. And now some of the people I talked to around this area who either live here or who are business owners here off of West Main Street in Spartanburg, they tell us they're just happy that everybody is okay and nobody was hurt in this area. They do tell us, though, luckily a lot of these businesses did not have any people inside of them. There was also a church that had the roof peeled off of it. Once again, no one was inside there either, so they do tell us they are very fortunate. We did talk to one woman, though, who does not live far from here, who told us she was home during the time of the storm. She told us it sounded like a very loud freight train coming through for about 5 minutes, and then it was gone just as quickly as it came. There was some downed trees in her backyard, but she was one of the lucky ones. None of them fell onto her house, which is the case for a lot of people in this area. Just walking through some surrounding areas, a lot of downed trees on people's home. Just to add to this cleanup list that starts tomorrow morning for a lot of people in this area, and of course for the county as well. And as this night continues and the rain just keeps falling at this point, you're urged, of course, to use caution, especially in these areas that were so hard hit that still have debris, just like we just showed you right down here. Reporting live in Spartanburg, Melanie Palmer, 7 News. Gordon?
Melanie, thank you. Amy here. Well, dozens of people are tonight very thankful to the rescue crews with the Berea Fire Department in Greenville County. Crews were called to a business for a water rescue. 7 News reporter Ann Maxwell has our story.
I'm on Sulphur Springs Road in the Berea area where it crosses the Reedy River, which is overflown, leaving some standing water on the roadway behind me, leaving it closed off to through traffic. This was the site earlier of a swift water rescue where the Berea Fire Department saved about 30 people from their workplaces at the Mosaic plant and an auto shop. All of those people are okay. They also saved 2 dogs from back there. The water since then has continued to rise. The assistant fire chief at the Berea Fire Department says they've been watching this all day.
What happens is as the water rises, the current gets a lot swifter, and that's what we were dealing with. We had been monitoring the level of the water here, and it kept rising, so we knew it was time to activate the team.
That swift water rescue happened around 4 o'clock this afternoon. Again, everyone was okay. They got everybody out in 2 trips. In Greenville County, Ann Maxwell, 7 News.
All right, Ann, thank you. Well, the weather has mostly moved out of the area tonight, the severe stuff, but we still are feeling some effects because the rain keeps falling.
Yeah, there may be rain for a while. Let's get a sense of that from Storm Team 7 meteorologist Malachi Rogers.
All right, thanks, Gordon and Amy. We are still dealing with showers across the area. Heavy rain in a few spots, but again, the strongest severe storms have absolutely moved out. We're still dealing with rain, though. Greenville, Spartanburg, Anderson, Union, Lawrence, all seeing rain Pickens and easily, and that rain extends back towards northeast Georgia from Elberton to Hart County. So again, we expect more rain on top of the rain that we've already seen. In many locations, many spots today, we picked up about 4 to 5 inches of rain just today, and that rain will continue to fall. Many locations, as we've mentioned throughout the day, are seeing flooding because these pockets of orange are areas that have seen over 4 inches of rain. Many of them seeing 5 and 6 inches of rain in these spots, and you'll notice just how widespread that is. All of that rain will eventually move into rivers and streams, and unfortunately, that's going to keep the flood concerns and the flood risk up into the weekend. Now, as far as the flash flood watch goes, that's been extended to 1 a.m., but ideally, and again, everyone please be very careful. Early tomorrow morning, if you're traveling late tonight, if you're on those roads, if you're in areas that have a tendency to flood or even low-lying areas near rivers or streams, be aware. You could see runoff, you could see water in those areas. Temperatures will drop through the 40s this evening in the upstate, dropping into the 30s with colder air in the mountains. That's another story. We'll take a look at that coming up when we come back.
Thank you, Malachi. Remember, you can take 7 News and Storm Team 7 with you wherever you are, no matter the conditions. We'll update you throughout the day, of course, every time on the latest news and weather. Just head to the App Store, search WSPA 7 News and WSPA Weather.
We'll continue our Black History series, Hidden History, and take a look at the impact black lawmakers have had on South Carolina's General Assembly.